Lucky Lefty Podcast, Onora Boys. We're in the building. Brought to you by ONORA Whiskey. It's ONORAWhiskey.com. Left, it's that premium American whiskey, ONORAWhiskey.com. And if you drink, by all means, you have to make sure that you do it
responsibly.
Man, you already know. Let's get it. Lucky Podcast. SP Too Much, Sean Davis, the original Lucky Lefty himself, MALIK, ZAIRE, brought to you by ONORA Whiskey. Courtesy of Believe Network. Tap in, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We've been on vacation. Man, it's so good to be back. Let me see if my melanin is popping. It's lost in a little bit. Hope you guys have had a good start and end to your May. Hope blessings are going to follow you and chase you all the way into the month of June. June 6th, I'm super excited for the first junior day, the first Irish invasion camp coming up. Excited to get down there on Sunday, report on it. Don't forget patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network. And then don't forget to tap in with us because we are the home of the misguided passion and forever committed to making sure that we spin it different. Yep. All right, a lot to talk about. Well, I'm gonna beat my chest today because we're gonna ask the question.
Ask the question.
Has Notre Dame's independence become stronger?
Oh my goodness. We gotta ask that question. We gotta ask that question.
As Keith Jackson would say, "Whoa, Nelly. Whoa, Nelly."
That's right.
What?
That's right.
What? The hate is strong in these people, left. It's strong.
Oh.
The jealousy from the SEC is strong.
Upset.
Strong, my brother. I can't believe some of the things we're hearing. Ooh. Big Ten pushing back a little bit today on a Zoom call saying, hey, if the SEC is not going to 9 conference games, they can forget that 5 automatic qualifiers. They forget that. Yep. It's all about the money, as Prime made a song about back in the day. Must be the money. So we're going to talk about that. Yeah, of course, we got official visits stacking up, and we're going to watch. Left has been begging. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. As it sits today, Left, as we do this show, if Al Washington, as it sits today, lands the class that he is projected to land, we already got ED in the class, Rodney Dunham in the class, Tiki Hola's in the class. If he gets Dre Quinn, if he finds a way to get Mikael Blade out of Chicago, if he gets Alistair Vallejo, and we're going to watch some film on Alistair Vallejo, 4-star out of Texas. Love, I know you've been talking about Texas kids for a long time. You've been hating for a little bit about Texas kids.
I'm just going on history.
But Notre Dame is mining in the right areas of Texas. See, it's about where you go.
Okay.
That's a big state. You got to make sure you go to and then you got to go to the right place and get the right guy. See, we went and got Jaden Greathouse, and we let Oklahoma take that trash quarterback. You see what I'm saying? It's not about the schools. Who you get from the school is what matters. Matter of fact, I think that the quarterback now is on his second school at Auburn, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And I'm sure Deuce is going to beat him out soon. So he's probably going to be headed to his third school. But I digress. Shout out to all of the Notre Dame graduates. Tyson Ford, Jaden Mickey, all the seniors that graduated over the last week while we were away. Super congratulations to you. Even if you are transferring to another school, we tip our cap to you because you will forever be Notre Dame men.
That's
You will
right.
forever be Notre Dame men. So we tip our caps to you right here on the Lucky Lefty podcast. Left, you got a break from the shorties, right?
Got a break.
Do you miss them? Do you miss them? Tell the truth. Do you miss them?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's how I feel sometimes too, bro. You know what I mean? Now that I'm senior pastor, because I was youth pastor for over 20 years. I was youth pastor for over 20 years, and now I'm out front with the adults. And my nephew has kind of slid into that spot, and I want to switch spots with him sometimes, bro, because I miss the shorties, man. They give you a different life.
It's a different energy, you know, and they don't know anything, and they just like so like present in the moment. They give you a lot of they really make it all worth it. You know what I mean? And then they go on summer break, and then they're like taking that next step, and they're coming back as another grade, and the 8th graders going to high school, and so it's a really good moment.
Yeah.
When the parents come back and because they're gone all year,
mm-hmm.
I can see the kids that you was just telling to sit down and be quiet and stop messing with stuff. Now they, going to the next grade. It's just great. So you take a couple of weeks, and then you probably want to start wanting to get back. I mean, that's just the life of a teacher.
Man. We're also going to talk about 2 Marcus Freeman comments that we feel like tell you everything you need to know heading into fall camp. If you have any questions, these 2 comments by Marcus Freeman from the spring are going to let you know why you need to relax if indeed you do have questions. We'll get to that as well. Lucky Lefty podcast. So last time we talked, we had KG on with us, our guy Ken Gibbs, and we were talking about Notre Dame solidifying that 8-game deal with Clemson moving forward. And then also we were talking about, hey, there's some meetings coming up, and they're talking about expanding to 16 teams in this college football playoff, which we knew would come. But this being the last year contractually that it has to be 12 teams, we thought they would let things play out as is. But you know what happened, Left?
What happened?
Let's Penn State, Big Ten. Ohio State, Big Ten. Notre Dame, Independent. Mm-hmm. What happened? 3/4 of that final, 3/4 of that big money came from the Big Ten and the independent route. SEC didn't like that. Greg Sankey didn't like that. No, that's not what he expected. He didn't expect Notre Dame to spank Georgia like that. He didn't expect that. He didn't expect that, Left. He didn't expect that. He didn't expect the Longhorns of Texas.
Our business model.
Oh, no. He thought Tennessee was going to walk into Columbus and smack Ohio State because they had just lost to Michigan. That's what he thought.
That's what he thought.
He thought Nico and that $8 million was going to walk into the horseshoe and do a little something. That's what he thought.
Didn't live up to it.
Yeah. He was stomping his feet, hoping that South Carolina, Alabama could come through the back door. That's what he was hoping.
He's hoping it.
And he crapped out. Had one team in the last 4. They came up short on that money, boy.
Came up short.
They came up. The connect came through with the product.
All that realignment and
just talk about it, Left. Talk about it, Left. All of that adding teams, adding Oklahoma. Talk about it, Left. Talk about it.
And then you start talking about the NIL money going out there, and you getting all the top coaches, and you thought you was moving in the direction of dominance, when in fact you got a conference and a team individually that's outpacing you guys. How is that possible?
And what have we been telling people for years, Love? The ACC has been Bama, LSU every now and then, and then a few others. That's it.
That's
The
it.
bottom half of the SEC has always been trash.
Flash in the
Always
pan.
been mid. Always. It's been mid. A bunch of talented players come out of the SEC. As far as the NFL draft, you can't argue that because the history shows in the draft picks. But we're talking about teams. Teams. Bama, LSU, Florida hasn't been. What has Florida done lately?
They'll be nice.
Anything Florida. Oh, I'm sorry. In Georgia. I'm being disrespectful. In Georgia. That's it. They held down the fort for the SEC for a long time. For a long time. Same thing in the Big Ten. Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State for a long time.
Yeah.
A long time. And for like
Illinois,
the chat said it. Oh, wait a minute. Shout out to Illinois. Shout out to Illinois. Nasir Rankin and King Liggins signed it on the same day last week. We're coming. We're coming. Indiana, we coming. Michigan, we coming. I'm gonna be cool on Ohio State. I'm gonna be cool. Not yet. We're not ready for them yet. But Michigan and Indiana, we coming. Because we split with both of those teams last year.
Mm-hmm.
No, we didn't play Indiana last year. I apologize.
Oh, y'all played Michigan.
We beat Michigan. We played Indiana this year. We're coming, Indiana. We're coming. Indiana got a nice pickup, too. Gabe Hill, defensive tackle out of Naperville North. Big time. Big time, big dude. I told you, you can come get all the big fat dudes out of Illinois, bro. The trenches, we got them here. We might not have quarterbacks. Man, we got a few wide receivers.
Yeah.
But big boys, we got them in bunches. We got them in bunches. We feed them Harold's all the time, Left. We feed them Harold's all the time.
Oh, but not the one in Arizona.
Harold's all the time. Right.
What
here,
about
baby.
Spice's son? He's nice. He's a big dude.
Say it again.
Spice's son, he's nice.
Spice Adams' son, he's a little undersized. He's a little undersized. Last time I talked to Spice, I think they were going to go group of 5.
Oh, Northern Illinois.
They were gonna go MAC and then transfer.
Oh,
okay. Go ahead,
that's smart.
Dominate and then transfer. But I mean, the way things are set up now, that's almost a new JUCO route from back in the day.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And then going to the JUCO was kind of like a shame thing for some kids, right? But now if you're going to like a group of 4,
but now doing JUCO route is like, I mean, that's a hard life.
Yeah,
but I do think it's interesting to see how a natural path of guys knowing that there may not be Power 5 out of high school and the transfer portal is making that more apparent. Their fault, not so much, you know, so it's like you really got to be numbered 1 through 5 coming out of high school. Yeah. Consider going to a Clemson, Ohio State, a Notre Dame, and something. Now, Notre Dame still is doing it pretty balanced, I would say. They get like immediate pickups, but they still believe in their high school guys because there's still guys that are playing early. But for these other teams that are just so transfer heavy, your Georgia Techs, your Louisvilles, you know, a lot of schools like that, you don't see the natural development as much of guys being a true freshman and sophomore. You see them plug and play players, right? And those teams that are trying to catch up, which shortens that gap of having a true recruitment out of high school in a sense, unless you're just that dude, you know. And I think that there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, the MAC conference is going to get a lot of great players that may just be undersized or may whatever the case may be. But we've seen the MAC get drafted in this draft early. Like the tight end from Bowling Green. So interesting stuff.
And, you know, it's crazy. We're going to play one clip in particular that just shows you the hate that's coming particularly from Georgia media, which I just laughed at, bro. I just laughed. And said, whoa, man, get it together. Like, really, just get it together, man. It shouldn't hurt this bad. Why you hurt me so bad? I don't know why it hurts you so bad. Why does it hurt you so bad that Notre Dame secures their own bag? Why does it hurt you so bad that Notre Dame has their own TV deal, has their own apparel deal? Why does it hurt you so bad that Notre Dame is top 5 in wins in the last decade? Why does it hurt you so bad that Notre Dame is top 6, top 7 in NFL draft picks in the last decade? Why does it hurt you so bad that they don't need your stamp of approval? SEC, that they don't need your stamp of approval. Big Ten, why does it hurt you so bad? Why does it hurt you so bad?
And we're beating the best teams of your conferences.
Yeah.
Y'all tried to line us up and give us your big bad wolf in Georgia. I see how y'all try to line us up and we okay. I see how y'all try to line us up and give us a state, one of your premier Big Ten teams, and what we had to do to them. So, okay, we can go 2 for 1, but we're going 2 for 1 with 2 of the top teams in y'all conferences that y'all are crying for to get more leverage. And at the end of the day, after beating those teams, we still walked home with a bigger bag. So who really won in the game of college football? The game of college football is about money, clearly. And even within losing, we were winning. And that's what y'all couldn't stand. Y'all like, how did Notre Dame just walk through, beat the big bad wolves? Ohio State, okay, they the best team, but Notre Dame did something different. They didn't buy out the highest paid roster. They didn't have to snipe and poach on everybody's players. They showed development. They won when injured. They took an embarrassing loss and turned it into a steamroll of a season. We all got quarterbacks. They quarterback was, he wouldn't have played over here. And we still walked in there, outclassed, got more money than y'all, and y'all still wonder why, and still come at us with this independent talk. Why? We have shown the model of what you should want to be. Don't hide in the conference. Hide in the conference doesn't get you what you really can get over here. And that's just like the music industry. Independence, you can really get some money over here. The Russes of the world. When you stuck arguing your contract in these big conglomerates, you can get money and just make your music over here on the independent, and it's okay. Don't start hating because we just getting our own piece of the pie. That's all it is. Y'all want to expand the playoffs, guarantee teams, and we're just like, whatever y'all want to do, but y'all just can't leave us out. Y'all want to squeeze the schedules out. Oh, it doesn't make sense to play when we got all these other games. We got to win the Big Ten, USC. Why? It's a rivalry.
Oh, you talking about the prophylactics? You talking about the prophylactics?
It's supposed to be a rivalry where y'all think y'all can beat us every year. That's what y'all want on the schedule. Not be like, we don't need Notre Dame and we don't need this problem and the Big Ten 8 games. We don't need that. We try to get into the next season. We can't be getting beat up by a quote unquote rivalry when we got to win 8 Big Ten games. I thought we was the land of the can't get it done. The can't get the 5 stars. Y'all running? Y'all trying to squeeze us? How? We make all the money. We are self-sustainable in a world full of chaos. We don't have to sell out to these players with these huge bags and crazy, dirty recruitment tactics, and we don't have to do all that. We don't have to jump in the get along game just to get a little TV exposure. We can create that on our own. Our media getting better now. Them camera, you see how crisp the camera footage is on some of these videos? We even got the premier players of college football. How is it independent in this money game have a player on the front page, on the front cover of the college football video game? How does that work? All them teams in college football that done fell in line under the contracts and TV deals and conferences, we got a player that is on the front? That's a power play. That's a power play. Because that just shows you that no matter how much y'all try to collude and get along together and cry for leverage for your conference and build it to be as strong as it can, you still got to be like, is that okay, Notre Dame? Are you guys okay with that move? Can y'all still help us out over it? Can we schedule a big time game like y'all come to Texas A&M that'll look good for our conference for 120,000? That's crazy. That's crazy, yo. And then you get beat by them.
You know where I've seen this before, Left? I can speak to this personally, Left. See, you're speaking from your perspective because you went to Notre Dame, you played for Notre Dame, you know what the rivalry means. So you're speaking from the core of it. Let me speak from the core of it. See, when I was down in Illinois, we had the great linebackers, Howard, Simeon Rice, Hardy, Brownlow. We're rolling them out every year. Defense just, man, legit. Henry Jones once went to the Super Bowl 4 times with the Buffalo Bills. I mean, we're just rolling them out, man. Just rolling them out. Then all of a sudden, that team we used to smack right next to us, to the west, started getting a little better. You remember Kobe Jones started showing up, and all of a sudden they start competing with Nebraska for Big 12 championships. And all of a sudden, that first game of the year in St. Louis that we used to dominate, they start smacking us. Nathan Shieldhouse, who's now an NFL OC, Nathan Shieldhouse was our quarterback.
Uh-oh.
We started losing. We were putting up points, but we couldn't stop them. We couldn't stop Kobe Jones in that offense. So we were losing like 41-31. Next year, 38-28. And you know what we did? Instead of getting better, you know what we did? We tucked tail and ran and cut off the rivalry. And we haven't played Missouri since then. Yeah, I can speak. I've been on the other side. I've been the chumps.
Since?
We haven't played Missouri since. We've been the chumps. 50 years of a rivalry, Left. 50 years of a rivalry. States right next to each other. In the fighting Illini turned and ran. They turned and ran. Because they had a 2 to 3 game losing streak. Just turn and ran. They were used to dominating. They were used to being the school in the Midwest. And all of a sudden, Missouri said,
The rabbit got the gun.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. In Illinois and the administration, they ran. They ran from it instead of getting better. USC. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Do better. We know. Now, see, this is the thing. Fan base, and shout out to the former USC players that have reached out to the school to say, hey, man, y'all bugging. All this business talk, y'all trying to spit. No, this personal. This is personal. Don't make us look bad by running from Notre Dame. You're going to make us look bad.
Michigan already ran.
Oh, Michigan ran twice. So they keep their mouths closed. When it comes to that Big Ten talk, Michigan better shut up. We already smacking them up and down the recruiting trail. We've been smacking them up and down the recruiting trail the last 2 years. But they can rest on that national championship. That national championship will buy you 5 to 10 years. It'll buy you 5 to 10
Make
years.
Ohio State quiet. It make us quiet.
That age, the 85 Bears still living off that championship. It's going on 40 years, bro. It's been 40 years left. They still living off the championship.
Your boy Caleb said he's feeling good. He said he's feeling good this year.
I like the way he handled the press today. They tried to come after his pops. He handled himself quite well.
Okay.
His pops didn't lie. The Bears quarterback situation is awful. This is where the quarterbacks come to die. That's the truth. His father didn't tell a story. Shout out to Papa Halliburton. That's allowed back in the stadium, too. Shout out. Next time, don't scare your wife. Yeah, next time, don't scare your wife running up on Giannis like that. She was scared to death that Giannis was going to choke you. Be cool. Be cool. Lucky Lefty podcast.
You win and you feel invincible.
Man, look here, man. USC. And shout out to Inside Troy, Inside USC, that basically put Lincoln Riley on blast, saying, dude, you're the only one that's begging for this. You're the only one that's begging for this. You're scared. You ran from the move to the SEC, thinking you were running to easy pastures in the Pac-12. That's why you left Oklahoma. You didn't want that move to the SEC. You didn't want it. You didn't want to face Nick Saban. You didn't want to face Kirby Smart. You had already faced him in the playoffs and got smacked. You didn't want any of that on an annual basis. You were like, man, let me get out of here. When everybody goes to sleep, let me hop on this PJ and head to LA.
Be that Pac-12. 707 football at the time.
Only to get out there, Caleb gave you one good year, but then after that, the wall started to close in. And now you go to the Big Ten, like, oh man, let's go pick on the Big Ten, and you get smacked by Minnesota. You worried about Notre Dame? You can't even beat Minnesota.
And Minnesota was cold up there.
You can't beat Minnesota. Row that boat. Row that boat.
They
Before you try to step to Notre Dame. No. Give me a break. Shout out to everybody calling Lincoln Riley out, man. You're a weasel. You're a coward. You don't want any of the smoke. None of it. You're a fraud as a head coach. You're being exposed.
Even David Shaw stuck it out. Stanford, lowly as they are.
Absolutely. Then you got your boy, the supposed boy wonder, trying to take Notre Dame's plan and bring it out there, trying to sign 500 players in one class. As Kendrick says, it's not enough.
No.
It's not enough. When you show up in South Bend in October, it's not enough. It's not enough. But you're doing very well on the recruiting 12 and 26. I'll give you that. But you have to line up and play.
That's
all
so scary.
Whining makes no difference. You have to line up and play. That's it. Line up and play. All you're doing now is you're making it worse. You're making it worse. Stop struggling. The more you struggle, the worse it gets.
Yeah.
That's it. And so, Left, Brooks Austin covers the mighty Bulldogs from down there in SEC country, Left.
Okay.
He has some pretty harsh comments for the Notre Dame. And I laughed. And then we're going to hear from J.D. Pickell as well, who had the flip side of this. But here's Brooks Austin and just a snippet of what he had to say, Left. Take a listen.
I'm going to swerve a little bit on this topic because last night I called in jokingly, ha, 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 Lincoln Riley ducking the smoke. And I get that take. I understand why people are upset because USC is the party that is the one making this happen, right? Putting the wheels in motion on. We done playing that one. And I understand the people making fun of UFC and making fun of Lincoln Riley and getting on to the Trojans for kind of taking away something that we love about the sport, or at least trying to. All right, but we're also the same people that sit on this stage every single year when Notre Dame comes up and we're like, you know what? I'm so sick and tired of Notre Dame and their football supremacy. We're big enough of a brand. We don't need a conference. And we're one of those shows that hates on them for doing that. We give them shit all the time. So much so that I'm not going to speak for y'all. I have come to this microphone and said over and over again, boy, I sure shit wish one of these other programs would stop scheduling them. Stop scheduling Notre Dame out of conference. First of all, you're in a conference. SEC, Big Ten teams, you're in a conference. You have to play a conference schedule that's legit. It's tough. You're not out here losing in Northern Illinois at home. You got to play a legitimate conference schedule, and they get to sit up there on their high horse because they got an NBC contract, and they ain't got to play no conference schedule. That's bullshit. It's not fair.
I love it. The crash out. The crash out is real.
Don't schedule them. Stop scheduling them.
Whoa. You know why people schedule us? The same reason the captain of the cheerleading team gets asked out on prom by several people. The same reason. The same reason. Because we're Notre Dame.
You're getting Gatorade baths in week 2 playing Notre Dame. You get podcasts and a media tour around the country.
Your biggest ticketed game.
Practice to the next game week because of Notre Dame. They ask you, how did you get it done? And we're not even a team that's going undefeated. It was just improbable that a team that was supposed to lose, not even, it's one of those things where Notre Dame going to give you what you want. You're going to get something out of the deal, whether it be money, whether it be an experience, whether it be an all-time moment in your program history, whether it be the most fans to ever come to your game ever, most ratings that you ever had on TV, most night game appearances ever. Maybe it's because of that. I mean, you got the Big Ten team that you guys hype up so much, like Indiana had to come and face a real team where they couldn't avoid it. Playoffs now, so who cares? It's the playoffs, baby. That's your representative. And what happened? They came to lowly old down the street. Little brothers. Little brothers came to big brothers. They had to. Now your mean cousin beat you up at the family.
And to make it worse, Kirk Signetti on the field after the game on Big Ten Network said they just pushed us around. They just pushed us around. Nothing we could do about it.
The Big Ten?
The Big Ten team. Big Ten, one of the best Big Ten teams. Said Notre Dame just pushed them around. There was nothing they could do.
No, you do.
Nothing they could do. We got to go home and host our recruits, our transfers that are coming in because they pushed us around, they bullied us. There was nothing we could do.
We didn't even take a fight to go over there. We took the bus. And what's crazy is that Penn State was once an independent. Once upon a time ago. You were on the same track.
Florida State used to be an independent.
Florida State independent. On the
Miami used to be an independent.
Miami used to be an independent on the same track.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What happened? What? Because we obviously are showing you that it can still be done. So that just makes y'all quitters. Why'd you quit?
Here's the kicker. From 85 to 95, those 4 teams we named, or from 84 to 94, I apologize. Those 4 teams we just named all won national championships. So that should have been enough leverage. That should have been enough leverage with a TV network to say, hey, we're winning championships. Why couldn't you all come up with your own TV deal? What happened?
I got bigger schools.
See, this is why. Let me explain it to you. Because there's been a fabulous debate going on. Have you heard about this debate the last 24 hours about Tyrese Halliburton? Whether or not he's a superstar?
Oh, yeah.
Whether or not he's a superstar?
You
heard that debate? It kind of applies. Let me explain to you why it applies. I'm not paying $100 to go watch Tyrese Halliburton when he comes to the United Center. He ain't that dude.
No.
He ain't that dude. You talk about all the stats. You talk about what he's doing against the Knicks. Your average fan is not shelling over $100 to $150 because Tyrese Halliburton is coming to town. It's not happening. LeBron comes to town, I'm going. Luka comes to town, I'm going. KD comes to town, I'm going. Matter of fact, KD came to town and I went. I went. That's a superstar. You get me out of my seat and cause me to come up off my cash. That's a superstar. Tyrese Halliburton doesn't do that.
Wait a good basketball player.
Miami, ain't nobody getting up off their seat to come watch you play. When you go into someone else's territory, maybe that was years ago, but right now, nobody's doing that. Florida State, you don't have that gravitational pull. Penn State, probably a little bit more. But Penn State, you've always been more regional. You didn't get no West Coast love. You were like Snoop at the Source Awards back in the 90s. East Coast don't, West Coast can't get no love. West Coast can't get no love. No. Can't get no love on the West Coast, Penn State. Nobody's rocking with you like that.
Nah.
The only time they thought about you is if you showed up in the Rose Bowl game. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
It ain't consistent enough.
See, Notre Dame is a superstar college football program. Your average fan will get up out their seats to come watch Notre Dame win and to come watch Notre Dame lose.
And lose.
Notre Dame is the Floyd Mayweather of college football.
Absolutely.
Deal with it. Deal with it. You love them or you hate them.
No in between.
But the most important thing, that is the leverage for Notre Dame, and Notre Dame knows you're going to pay money to come see them.
Every time.
As much as people used to talk about Floyd, they paid that $100, didn't they, Left? Every time he fought, they hit that button on their remote. They hit that button on their remote to get their feelings hurt. When he ended up
Conor McGregor. Everybody was buying that.
Everybody's buying it. Oh, Conor's got a chance. Floyd didn't even train.
The man didn't even train.
So don't be mad. Don't be mad. And unfortunately, Notre Dame isn't retiring like Floyd Mayweather. Notre Dame is not going anywhere. And they're only getting better because you messed around and you let the world see Marcus Freeman build a winning program.
On national and recorded television.
That could beat the likes of Georgia. That could beat the likes of Penn State. What Left on the way to the national championship game? They beat an SEC team and a Big Ten team? Is that what Notre Dame just did?
2 Big Ten teams.
You're right. So they beat 2 Big Ten teams and an SEC team on the way to the national championship.
Where it counts. Y'all can't say it's a regular season. Y'all can slide by.
No.
We beat y'all when y'all wanted to beat us. Y'all wanted to. Y'all wanted to say y'all had a good run, but y'all ran into the SEC. No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
No. So just let it go. just let it go.
Y'all hating on the pretty girl. Hating on the pretty girl in school.
Let it go.
Right.
At this point, I don't know what you're going to be able to tell 27 kids and 28 kids on the recruiting trail. It's cold? Duh. Okay. You're going to talk about the difference in the girls on campus? I mean, what else do you have? What else do you have to try and negatively recruit against Notre Dame? What do you have anymore? Because the conference thing doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore.
Can't talk about coaches.
No. Definitely can't talk about coaches. No.
Can't talk about resources. Can't talk about facilities.
None of that. The facilities is being answered as we speak. But
you either you like it or you love it. You gotta like the education. You can't act like, oh, the education's too hard. How you gonna sound? How you gonna sound? They prepare you too well for the real world. That's you give you the testimonials from the transfers. What our guy Harp say? I was at Oklahoma State 4 years. I came to Notre Dame for 6 months and never ever seen football stuff like this. Structure. I had to know how to dress for stuff. I'm ready for the league. That's what he said. That's what he said. I'm like, you was there for 4 years, and in 6 months, you done changed your whole perspective. What the other guys saying? Lineman for Illinois. From Louisville. He said, man,
Mr. Dawson, he was like, yo.
Been around a lot of places. I got here, I couldn't believe that everybody wanted to do good. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody wants to do good here.
Man, y'all don't loaf to start practices here?
Everybody's on the same page here. Oh,
everybody's like, y'all on 10 from practice 1? This is how y'all do it? Man.
What Chris Mitchell say? He said, man, I came here. First of all, y'all disrespected me with the 40. I didn't understand that. But man, I had to know how to tie, something like that. I had to be on time. I had to go. We even got non-football and life stuff. What's his name say? Stroman. He said, oh, you got to go to class? He said, class is hard. He said, that's tough. So what can you say? Oh, you don't want to challenge yourself? Because you're going to do that. Notre Dame's that quasi-interesting place where it's not like you trying to be there for 10 years. No. You're going to get sick of it. But for the time you're there, it's long enough, but it's strong enough. You're going to come out of there a different mentality and on top of something real. So it's a badge. It's a credit. It's a little bit more than just going to school, like a badge of honor, because it's not made for everybody. Yeah, most of these kids don't got no online school. The online school at Notre Dame, no. You got to walk over there to that building, go up them big old stairs, get to room 311 on time after practice. It's just what it is. So I think it's interesting to see that there is not a lot of negative recruiting. I mean, we're going to say they don't pay enough. You just get the feeling and the aesthetic of, oh, Notre Dame got money, I'm going to be straight. And that's how kids feel. 80-90% of the kids on the roster are talking about like, yeah, NIL is big, but it's just not important like that. It's not as important as da-da-da-da. It's great, but I didn't come here to play. And they always give you it's like a scripted thing. Yeah, NIL is important, but it's not as important as X, Y, Z. So I love the fact that Notre Dame has carved out something so niche that people can only be upset at. I mean, BYU's independent, or they were, right? Or they the Big 12? They were independent and nobody ever fussed about them. I didn't hear people crying out for BYU to join a conference or none of that stuff. You know what I mean? So it's interesting to see the attention you get for being good. That's what this is about. They need something to say because their model isn't out flourishing what an independent is doing on the level in which we're doing it. It's not like we're having small time success where they're like, okay, that's cute. No, we making big money that y'all want to be. Y'all like, wait a minute. It's 10 of us and one of you. How are we looking at the same accounts and sometimes y'all checks are a little heavier? How? It's 10 of us and one of you. That'll make anybody a little upset. And all we're saying is, hey, we're not doing anything but showing you how it works. We ain't hate on you guys and say, oh, you guys are unfair for crying for guaranteed spots. We just said, okay, we got a home game. Oh, okay. 5th? Oh, okay. We should win that first one. That's about what? $2 million from the bookstore. First playoff game. Probably get tickets bumped up a little bit more. Okay. Indiana, who? Oh, man. It's like Harlem Globetrotters. Like the Harlem Globetrotter game. You just playing the Washington Generals. You just trying to get enough amusement going on to just stack the bread. I mean, we done brought out all the stars. We done made snow angels. We done got them club seats right, toasty. We done broke out them fireplaces in them club suites. And the fireplaces rose. I mean, it was a great time. Easy 10 million from a game week. Extra game week. They say, oh, extra? Extra home game? Oh, yeah, give me that. Give me that. So I think it's amazing to see us still continue to hear the noise, hear the pressure, and still be able to produce at a high level. And it's like to be able to have that program builder in Marcus Freeman that can make it all make sense. He just makes it all make sense. Because the moves couldn't be done without the right person. These moves were being put in place, but a different guy running the program, and the perception was different. Successful, but different. We didn't capture the hearts and the soul and the mind of the fans. We just had a good product. It's like Walmart. Yeah, we went to Walmart. It was great. I got my deodorant and my stuff, and it was, But then Trader Joe's came into it. And it's like, but did you try that frozen California? You start talking about all different. It's a different holding you got. Marcus Freeman was that Trader Joe's we needed in the grocery store chain. Now you kind of bougie. I don't need to go to no Walmart. I got Trader Joe's. You don't know about that Trader Joe's peanut butter. You don't know about that trade. You start getting fancy. How can you hate on Trader Joe's? It's expensive. So what? So I just appreciate that Notre Dame found that combination at the perfect time of everybody selling out for the NIL. Because the thing about Notre Dame is that what's greater than that once you coach there? It's only a couple places. So the prestige is maintained through all the changing of college football, where we talked about this 2 years ago. That's that golden ticket. You get an offer from Notre Dame, okay, your recruitment's different now. So, okay, they done seen something in you. Because Notre Dame didn't even offer a quarterback in 26 yet, or 27, right? Even the good ones. They're like, wait, I'm good, and you still ain't pulled the trigger? Because Notre Dame that golden ticket. Notre Dame trying to be like, we offer you, you coming. That's what we getting. If we put that thing out there, you're biting on it. There ain't no visiting no other place. That's why we had to establish that the second year when the Peyton Bowen experience. You're not finna commit and then leave. What are you talking about? We had to learn, though. We had to learn. And then once we got that right, now we had the expectation of, if you join, you're in. Ain't no leaving the game. But respectfully, guys aren't trying to leave. Just like guys aren't trying to transfer. We have some, but they're gracious exiles. They're gracious exits. They're like, it's a mutual. We just couldn't agree on terms, but we love you. You come back, get a plate anytime. But you can't be here. It's a respect. Which makes Notre Dame that nice cycle, that nice process. You don't hear a lot of bad mouthing of Notre Dame when players leave, other than it being a playing time thing. That's just business. But you don't hear the experience for guys that aren't trying to challenge themselves. It's almost like the embarrassing thing. Like, what you gonna say? You didn't want to go to class? What you gonna say? Was school's too hard? You had to be on time too often? You had to go to practice. You had to be held to a standard every day. It's not too much you can say on, Notre Dame wasn't. No, they had it. They feed you. They put you up. They give you a little bit of money. So it ain't like they. So it's good so that's why you see guys graduate, stick it out, and then try to get that because they almost treat you pretty good. Flying on your private jets and staying at the hotels, you get to do a little cool. eating different places because you got celebrity kids, and it's a fun trip. So the recruitment on Notre Dame side is smooth sailing. And I think at the same time, it still keeps his morals of we not chasing the biggest, best, brightest thing all the time. We're really taking our time and getting the guys we want. And so that's what happens when you're in the top 5% program.
I totally agree with you, Lefty podcast. Now, we put in the chat, has Notre Dame's independence been strengthened? And J.D. McHale on 3, of course, sometimes he makes some solid points, sometimes he's a little bit off base. He had this to say about Notre Dame and how well things have been played by People Vaca and his predecessor, with Notre Dame being in the room for all things. It's absolutely amazing. This is what he had to say.
Thing that Notre Dame lacks now that will keep them from being a powerhouse in college football for the future. Because you had your nice run this past year. You make a run to the national championship and you lose to Ohio State in the fourth quarter, whatever it is, what it is. But, I don't see a clear governor on Notre Dame. I think one of the best coaches in the sport, Mark Freeman. Okay, check. Talent, just had 6 players drafted. And by nature of your on-field product, you're only going to attract more talent here. Notre Dame, as it stands right now, top 5 in the on-3 industry team recruiting rankings for 2026. Okay, got it. I mean, your core nucleus is pretty solid when it comes to guys you get via the portal as well. You kind of become a destination in that way. There's nothing that I'm looking at with Notre Dame that says, yeah, that's going to keep them from winning at a high level, though. Before, you might have said, well, not playing in the conference makes their playoff route maybe a touch more difficult. That's not the case anymore. You get a bye in the first round of the college football playoff now for Notre Dame if you finish in the top 4 during the regular season, at least for this final year.
That's just a snippet of what J.D. McHale had to say on the situation. Notre Dame's in the top 4, bro. See, look, you talk about, we're going back to the situation. Once again, ladies and gents, Penn State, Florida State, Miami, Notre Dame, the independents dominated college football for a decade. The SEC couldn't eat. The Big Ten couldn't eat consistently. They would come in maybe. Every now and then, Penn State got Miami in the Fiesta Bowl, but they were independent when they did it. Florida State got Notre Dame and finally won. They were independent.
That just shows you how good it is. I mean,
let me tell you something. Miami, Notre Dame, they were independents. They were dominating football. So all of them had championship programs to be able to go to networks and say, hey, promote us. We're big time. And we're doing it without a conference. We're recruiting the best of the best without a conference affiliation. They all had the same product on the field that they could take to the boardroom. But they didn't have the other half, which is the money, the pull, and the national brand. They didn't have the business side of it. So when the SEC puts on the first conference championship game, it makes a boatload of money. They start to bring and use it to seduce the independents to say, if you want a piece of this bigger pie, you have to come join us. They did the same thing to Notre Dame, and Notre Dame was like, nope, we're not going to take the bait. So they go into the BCS and they give Notre Dame conditions by which they need to operate by to be part of the BCS. And Notre Dame says, okay. Then they go to the 14 playoff. They give Notre Dame conditions. Notre Dame says, okay. We'll take the penalty to keep our independence. Go ahead. Then they go to 12 teams. You can't get the bye. Okay. You say the highest we can get is 5? Okay. We'll take the home playoff game. We'll take it.
You gotta be home.
Because if you give us that, that's like giving us a brick. Pardon using this, analogy. Oh, you gonna give us a brick on consignment?
On consignment.
We're about to flip this. We're about to flip this bird.
Easy money.
Oh, we're about to flip this bird.
That's a gift.
Flip this bird.
That's a gift.
Okay. Go ahead. Do what you will.
Do what you will.
Do what you will.
But
we're not leaving our independence.
Check our accounting book after the end of it.
Yes. Yes.
Because that's where y'all upset about the fact that with all stipulations, we still made more money. We just happened to win.
So I need somebody out there tomorrow. If you're listening, I need somebody to go get Thanos sitting on the rock as Thor, Cap, and Iron Man stand at the top of the rubble of Avengers headquarters looking down on Thanos. And Thanos tells them, you went through all of that. Where has it brought you? Right back to me. And right now, Notre Dame.
We made more money than teams with multiple teams with conferences
connected to conferences. Yes. Yes. And we don't have to share it. We don't have to share any of it. We don't have to share it.
You have multiple teams in your conference in the playoffs, and we made more than multiple teams than y'all had in the playoffs. That's terrible.
Yes.
You're like, there's no way y'all can get away with that. In the first year, we thought the first year was that's gonna put them on the bending knee. That's gonna put them on the bending knee. We done made them only get into the 5th spot. They're gonna be in a cold home game. We're gonna throw in one of our better teams. It's gonna be great. Notre Dame gonna have to succeed to what we're doing. Because they're gonna be tapped out. They're gonna be like, how did we get to 15-1 and we still number 5 in the playoffs? That's not fair. Why we got to play Georgia right out the gate? That's not fair. That's what they wanted to hear. But Notre Dame was like, no, we're good. We just know how to think into the future or something. We see the vision. We keep in the path. But we stay in the course. We're just going to build a good football program. We're going to get Marcus Freeman in there. He's going to grab the Utes. We got the face of the program. We may not dive in the NIL game, but we're going to buffer up all the other stuff. Get us a new stadium, get us a new indoor, put the club suite. I mean, we're going to invest in ourselves, and I think Notre Dame, because of that and the leverage that Notre Dame has, think about it, a strong alumni base that's nationwide, worldwide. We literally have our AD from a TV network. How does that work? Y'all ADs come from Notre Dame, Ohio State, North Carolina. Y'all ADs come from us. Our ADs come from TV networks because we thinking ahead. We saying the money in the TV. Well, we get the head of the TV network. We can teach them sports. But he going to teach us how to get that green. You think NBC wasn't going to do us right after we got the head of them over there? It was just a trade swap. It was like the Luka and the AD trade. It was okay. NBC.
Where they messed up, Left, is that they did not anticipate that Notre Dame would gain leverage by getting to the national championship game. And like you said, Left, like you pointed out, they didn't just gain leverage by getting there. They gained leverage in the room. Pete Bavaka walked in and said, we smacked Indiana. Oh, that's one of your squads? We smacked them. Oh, Penn State, that's your other squad? Oh, we smacked them too. We smacked them too. Oh, Georgia? Yeah. You made us wait a full day because of tragedy. And we still smacked them.
Still smacked them.
Still smacked them. Heck, if we had to play Texas, we would have smacked them too. Heck, Arizona State almost got them.
We was smacking Texas while they was in that other conference too.
Yeah. Y'all lucky the only squad that really had the power stone for us was Ohio State.
That's at the end of the road. That's at the end of the road.
And that's us with tons of injuries, not in full strength. That's the only squad that had the power stone. The only squad.
So we about to take over the universe.
So look, Greg Sankey, SEC people, Big Ten folks, Notre Dame is looking you dead in your eye. After you have to give away a little bit more than you wanted to and allow them with this straight seeding. You were so thirsty to get to the straight seeding instead of waiting until you expand to 16. You were so thirsty to make sure. Now we got to make sure that we can get SEC and Big Ten teams into that Final Four more. We got to make sure we dominate it. So we got to open it up to straight seeding. Not realizing, you just opened the portal for Notre Dame.
Open the door.
Just open the door because we have the leverage. We just showed you we're just as good as you. You can't deny us now. And just like Notre Dame, or just like Thanos told the Avengers, people of Aqua walked into that room and said, you could not live with your own failure. And where's that brought you?
Yeah.
Right back to Notre Dame.
We got to see
Greg Sankey, you could not live with the fact that the SEC was getting smacked. You couldn't live with it. You couldn't live with one SEC team in the Final Four, and it wasn't one of the teams you wanted because you didn't want it to be Texas. You didn't want the SEC because you just bought them and borrowed them from the Big 12. No,
they're not even the core of the SEC.
Core blue bloods. One of your core blue bloods didn't even make it.
And y'all tried to fix it too. Y'all tried to.
One of your core blue bloods almost cost me $100. They almost lost 5 games. They almost did it. I stood tall for one of your blue bloods, and they almost lost 5 games in the regular season. Almost.
They did lose 5 games.
Not in the regular season. The bet was the regular season. Stop it. That's on you. You set the terms for the bet. You set the terms for the bet. That's on you. You cost yourself $100. Greg, thank you. You can't deal with it. You can't deal with it. It just created a thirst. I can't live like this. You're panicking because you see Notre Dame come. You're like, hey, Notre Dame's not getting any worse. I don't see him getting any worse. Kalen DeBoer, I don't know if Kalen DeBoer can. I don't know if they can pull. I don't know if he can pull Alabama out of this spin.
Because the economy of the South is dependent on SEC football, and Notre Dame's just showing you what you can be like. But you don't want to listen. Don't listen to us. It's okay. It's okay.
He's panicking, Left. He's panicking. Georgia's not what they used to be. What's going on? We don't have oh my God, Brian Kelly's a fraud. We got him from Notre Dame, and Notre Dame has the better coach. Oh, he's panicking. That's Greg Sankey right now. He's panicking. I got to do something. I got to do something. We got to go to straight seeding. It won't change a thing.
No.
The die has already been cast, my friend. The die has already been cast. Live with it. Live with Brian Kelly. Live with the retirement of Nick Saban. Live with Kirby Smart losing all of his key assistants. Live with it. Because I don't see any help coming. Kentucky's not helping. Y'all, you're trying to promote Florida like they're about to be the next big thing. I don't see it personally. Every year you try to tell us that South Carolina is going to get over the hump. And every year, they never make it.
Never make it.
What are you going to do? You're going to put money behind Vanderbilt Left? Is that what they're about to do? They're about to promote Vanderbilt? That's the next team? Shout out to Sparkly.
They're trying to sneak that in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Is that what they're going to do, Left?
But they say not enough.
No, not enough. Wait a minute. Do you have to go beg in Texas to be that team now?
Not the team that just got there.
Not the adopted squad. And the other adopted squad, they stink.
Y'all asking the adopted squad to come into the house,
Save us.
and make all the plates.
Save us.
You get the first plate? How?
Save us. They get the big pork chop, the big piece of chicken, love.
Notre Dame only makes mistakes like putting a hired gun last on senior day. That's the only mistakes Notre Dame be making. Notre Dame is due for a superstar. We had it in basketball. We need one in football. With Marcus Freeman and the superstar? And we're not even playing the same game as the other teams. We're not doing the NIL game with people.
It's so bad. Let me tell you how dope the Notre Dame brand is. Barrett Sports Media said on Memorial Day that the men's lacrosse championship was one of the least watched championships in the last decade, love. Coming off two of the biggest TV ratings for men's lacrosse ever. Guess who won the two previous championships in men's lacrosse? That brand called Notre Dame. Don't get mad. Don't get mad. Don't be mad. It's okay, Greg. Go take a sedative. Relax. Chill.
Take one of them gummies.
Just take one of them gummies. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Tell your boy, number 15, formerly of the Gators. Tell them to come lay hands on you. Tell them to come pray for you.
And you know what's so funny is like
Let Tim Tebow pray for you. Let them pray for the conference.
And they mad because they won a basketball championship. They're like, oh, that's the wrong one. It's the wrong one.
Wait a minute. They were like, yo, we thought we were going to get the football championship, and we messed around and won the basketball championship.
They got the wrong one. Dang. They can't even feel good about winning. How they going? I mean, they like, man, we can't even.
They brought the trophy to the SEC offices. Greg Sankey's like, man, get that crap out of here.
Put that up. I guess we got it.
Put it on my assistant's desk. I don't even want that in my office. We don't put basketball championships in my office.
You're like, yeah, is this a consolation? Why y'all give us this? Why we don't? So that's, and that's just the. I just know that they was upset. They just like, man, we are doing everything. We can't even get our program right. We won basketball. We didn't even put no money behind it. Yeah, but I mean, hey, I think Notre Dame has shown that they may bend, but they won't break. If anything, they've gotten stronger, and it's good to see, And I think once you have it's just fate, You don't print or get a lot of Marcus Freemans out there, and we took a risk. First year coaching, all that jazz. He was still being able to produce at a high level, and for it to work out, all of the obstacles and things that you got to do to save face sometimes, he went through it. Embarrassing losses, written speeches for him, can't bring in guys he wants, getting hired at the same time as another guy to be a co-head coach. He stuck through it all. Now you're at a point where you're like, okay, program's running where it should be. Now we have to create the dynasty effect by winning championships. The formula is there, like we just watched from On 3. There's nothing that tells you that Notre Dame isn't going to win. We just need that, I believe, a superstar player, a Superman, the one at that quarterback position. You got everything else. if we had a superstar quarterback in that position to take advantage of all the things that Notre Dame was giving, he would be the number one player in college football by far. Number one pick, number one player, all-time great. That's what it's set up for. Somebody got to do it. I don't even got no eligibility left. Somebody got to do it.
Let me give you the impact. And Lef, I need you to put your bias to the side for 1 second, because I'm going to show you the impact of the Notre Dame season and quantify it in one moment. Because what Notre Dame did in 2024 is they jumped the line.
Yep.
They jumped the line and they messed up the pecking order. It takes you back to the 89 first round, game 5 in Cleveland, when Michael Jordan hit that shot over a Cleveland Cavalier team that was supposed to be next in line to battle in the Eastern Conference. Mark Price, Brad Daugherty, Ron Harper, Larry Nance, squad. They were supposed to be next. And here comes this skinny dude from Chicago. And all of a sudden, the pecking order was messed up from that year on. And Cleveland was never heard from until old boy from down the road showed up.
The greatest player.
Decades later. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens. Notre Dame making this run after the Northern Illinois loss. Nobody saw that coming. Michael Jordan and the Bulls doing that to Cleveland. Nobody saw that coming.
We saw it coming. We saw it coming.
Certain teams in college football would never be the same.
Yes.
And some of them might be in the SEC.
Alabama almost folded and collapsed.
I didn't say that name, Left. You said their name. I'm just saying.
They almost collapsed as a program, losing the in conference. We ain't even talk about it. They lost somebody out of conference, like a UTEP or something like. We lost to a team that generally nobody thinks we're supposed to lose to. But
well, at least we lost to a team that has a history of winning conference championships and winning games.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt has no. Vanderbilt?
I've been whooping them. What was it, like 25 games in a row or something ridiculous?
I promise I'm not, by no means am I trying to prop up that ridiculous loss to Northern Illinois. By no means.
No, it's egregious.
Man, at some point you thought it was fireable. Because you already had Marshall and Stanford in the back pocket. You were already holding those L's. You would have had Northern Illinois?
Yeah.
Come on, man. We got to have a serious conversation, bro.
Have a serious conversation.
That was the feeling that weekend by a lot of Notre Dame fans. Like, hey.
They had to pull you in and be like, you all right, bro? You good? You all right? Because we didn't make a mistake, did we? That David Shaw smile, that's going to go right. That should be, all them things should be clipped up in the next season. Just things that we went through.
I told you, man, his 3 most egregious losses were to black head coaches. That Marcus Freeman, boy, he loves his brothers. He loves his brothers.
That's right.
He's like, whatever
I'm
I can
okay
do.
with that. I'm okay with that.
That's right.
Because you know why? We winning at the end of the day. He may take a loss, but for the greater good, for the win for everybody.
Yes, everybody got to win. Everybody got to win. Northern Illinois made the national news.
For about 2 weeks.
National news. Northern Illinois made national news.
Yeah. 2 weeks into the season.
Marshall made national news.
Come on now. Them brothers still there to this day.
Let me tell you something, man. David Shaw walked off that field and said, now I can retire. Boy, he walked into that Notre Dame visiting locker room and said, guys, he lit that cigar and was like, guys, now I can walk away in peace. I don't even care if we lose the rest of the year.
Hey. Y'all done sent me on my way, man.
That's the last feather in my cap.
I can go to sleep on that one.
That's it.
That's it, man.
That's the power of Notre Dame.
Seriously, like we think we joking. That's seriously the outcomes. We're extending coaches' careers, making historical moments in wins and losses.
Wins and losses left.
We unpacked your stadium out, shut down your city. Has never happened before.
Never.
We ain't got so many eyes on your TV ratings for that one game. That's enough to feed the whole season. Just because we came to town. We ain't never had a college game day until we got there. I don't know.
Lucky Lefty podcast. We come back, we'll talk. Hey, this weekend starts official visits left.
Yep.
Official visits starting this week, June 6th. Notre Dame's Irish invasion for the 27 class and 28 classes. It's a lot to get to, a lot to talk about, and we'll get to it next right here, Lucky Lefty podcast. You already know we spin it different.
What's up, family? The merch shop is finally here. Lucky Lefty Network merch shop. We got it all. From the shirts to the hoodies to the hats to the nitty gritties. Come here right now. Shop with us. Come get the swag because you know, if anything else, we spin it different. You see the gritty. You see how we get down. It's elite.
Lucky Lefty podcast. ONORA boys. SD2 mics that do. The original Lucky Lefty himself, MALIK ZAIRE. Patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network. ONORA Whiskey Believe Network. Tap in Apple Podcasts, Spotify each and every day. Audio edibles. We are the home of the misguided passion, and we're forever committed to making sure that we spin it different. Don't forget to go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. After subscribing, make sure you hit that thumbs up on all of our videos. Enjoy the shorts that we put out. And then leave your comments and questions because we indeed respond to all. And speaking of questions, we have some GTB questions to get to before we talk about this NCAA 26 cover, love, because there's some dudes that I don't think should have been on that cover. I'm going to keep it a buck. Josh Buffo, the motivational business banker. Jeremiah Love win the Heisman this year if he does what?
I don't know. I think he would have to have something ridiculous, somewhat of an Ashton Genty, sort of speak type of year. I just don't believe it's possible only because I don't think he'll have as many touches as what it would take to do it, unless the touches that he has are just like you running in 99 yards, a touchdown every couple games. You know, there's got to be something crazy. And also because of the nature of where we have to be offensively. As much as we love Jeremiah Love being our number one threat, we've even put him in the receiver slot. So I think it just shows where we want to be, but to have him as that, not backup, but more so as that constant, but we're focused on being strong in other areas, it makes the offense better in general. Because at the end of the day, you can always just turn around and hand the ball off. That's always our safety valve, our break the glass in case of emergency, our airbag. And that part of our game is better than 80% of college football. Because O-line is consistent. But where we need to get to be that ultimate team, got to be able to throw the football. And that's why we've seen those clips of him being split out. Hell, he didn't just have to get it handed off. Clearly, he can do more. And maybe if he was to be like a 1,000-yard receiver, 1,000-yard running back, that can add some flair to it. I just think there's literally no guidelines to how do you win the Heisman. There's not. Like, how do you even, what's the guidelines to win the Heisman? There's none. So will he be the most liked? I think because at Notre Dame he'll have enough attention to be in the room. But we have to win a championship and you gotta stay healthy. There's a lot of things. But overall, he's still a top first round draft pick. The meat and potatoes of our offense. I would still say the run game is about 60%, but the 40 it's got to be just potent. We want to see an effective passing game added. Denbrock, I think, is thirsty to show that part of the game, and he knows that'll unlock so much more for a team that was really good last year, but it felt really good but still far until we get over that certain hump. And it's not a secret. I think if anybody, most teams started to see that once they started cracking our defensive scheme. They're like, oh, we just got to outpace them by a couple touchdowns. They're not going to be able to catch up. That's what I would take from the last game. Get on them early. They're not coming back. Now we got to show the quarterback, even if we got Garrett Nussmeier as a top 10 quarterback, top 5 to these people out here, the bar isn't very high for us to go in there and be special. I mean, come on. I'm okay at where we're starting at and finding our quarterback if Garrett Nussmeier is a top 5 quarterback. Not saying that he's bad, but, I've seen him be the number 1 pick in some early draft boards.
He's not Connor Wegman. He's not Connor Wegman, who we told people was trash all summer long, leading into the first game. And now Marcel Reed took over by week 5. So
by week 5,
yeah. But if he can do what Josh Adams wasn't able to do, and what I mean by that, Josh Adams broke off big runs.
Right.
He just broke it week after week. He was just breaking off big runs, and he was doing it in big games like against North Carolina State. And then he got to the biggest game against Miami on the road, and they stuffed him left. And that's really the only thing missing from Jeremiah Love's resume. Because of injury sustained in that last regular season game against USC, he had the big 98-yard run, but he really never got healthy enough to make an impact against Georgia. He re-injured himself against Georgia. Wasn't himself. He made a big play against Penn State, a couple of big plays in the third quarter of that game to get Notre Dame rolling offensively. But he wasn't himself. He wasn't himself. He needs to go start with a bang against Miami, nationally televised game. Then he needs to come home against Texas A&M. Bam! Hit him with another one. Then maybe wait for USC. Bam! Hit USC on national TV, prime time. You know what I'm saying? He has to hit those big-time games. He has to have big runs because he's not going to get as many opportunities.
Yeah, he's got to be the big moments. Yeah, he's got to have 5 touchdowns in our biggest appearances on TV. Because I think the Heisman definitely, like you said, your perfect point is that it comes through moments that, who has the best highlights. I think Travis Hunter's moments of being both sides of the ball was more spectacular than the clearly great resume of what Ashton Genty had from a football perspective.
Yeah.
Football-wise, what Ashton Genty did, I think is harder. What's prettier and sexier and cooler for the history books, Travis Hunter doing a two-way thing, I think is cool. But Jabril Peppers played 2 ways.
Yeah, he did.
So it's like,
and then we saw Chuck Wood win a Heisman doing it. So
I mean,
not as extensively, but he made impact plays on both sides of the ball and won a Heisman. So
Jeremiah Love literally has to have unbelievable numbers in big moments. It's not going to be something where he's going to earn it by us whooping the heck out of Purdue and he's got 300 yards. It's like,
I think it's going to be really hard. You know why? Because I just see Notre Dame just really smacking teams.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
By the time it gets to the middle of the third quarter, it's like, dude,
We're gonna
you're
be
going to see
smacking. He's not gonna touch the ball
running
as
back
much as
3 and 4 will be getting a lot of
you're gonna
carries.
see them young guys getting
Yeah.
in, you know,
Yeah.
just because how the schedule's built. So
Yeah.
this will be more of like we're gonna use him in spots, get him healthy generally through the season, have him play big in the playoffs, but we want to keep him healthy to get drafted.
Yeah.
Same value that I said Ben Morrison had was his greatest strength was just to get drafted high. We don't really need you to do anything else on the football side of things. One, because we kind of got it, but this is a good exit moment where everybody's kind of like, okay, we have high regards of you as you're going on to the next level. So with Jeremiah Love, I expect more of a farewell tour than if we don't give him the ball 15, 16 times a game, we're going to lose. You know, so I think this is where you experiment more with, put him in different spots, kind of like Kyron, just with less carries.
Yeah.
When it gets third and we need it, okay, we'll split him out. We'll give him the rock. But we may see that 3 times in a game. Then we can rely on Aeneas. We can rely on Kendrick Young. Darian Price got to get his carry. You know, so and all of that is crazy considering we haven't talked about the tight ends and receivers.
You're right.
Who need to get the ball, in my opinion, force-fed in a lot of situations because we need to show that part of our game for recruiting and that next step at the quarterback level.
Next question from our guy, Jason Smith. Thank you for the GTB question. Who is the 27 quarterback you hope we land or top 3? Peyton Houston, Malachi Ziegler, and Peter Bork. I mean, of course, Trey Taylor would have been in there, but he's a Husker. There's a couple other kids, but I think Peyton Houston would be one for me. Malachi Ziegler would be 2, and then Bork. I really would say Ziegler and Bork would be like 2A and B, 2A, 2B for me. Those would be my guys. Sean Stewart. Other teams complain about Notre Dame's independence because they wouldn't last long doing it. Yeah, it is. I'm sure there are definitely cons to being independent. From an operational standpoint, you don't have outside resources to help you. Everything is on you, you know. Yeah, I'm sure it will drain the coffers of other schools trying to do it. But Notre Dame's pockets run deep. I think everybody knows that. And Notre Dame has connections to other deep pockets. So
money not an issue over this way.
No, fundraising is not an issue. None of that. That's why we said it. If Notre Dame really wanted to play big bank, take bank in NIL, yeah.
I would think we was cheating for real.
Right.
Y'all would cry wolf for real. That's what will change NIL rules the next week. It wouldn't even last long. If Notre Dame did the game like y'all did it, they would change those NIL rules tomorrow. They'll say, nope, we need restrictions. Nope, we're not doing that. Y'all winning already. Ain't y'all about to start blowing us out the water with paying players? No.
Yeah.
So you were taking it easy on people.
Josh Buffalo, the motivational business banker, with another one. How many players will Notre Dame sign in this year's recruiting class? Will they end up with 5 stars? And how many will they flip? They'll definitely end up with 5 stars. I would say they'll end up with 2 to 3 5 stars in the class. I say that they remain in the top 5 all the way through signing day. And I think they have one flip coming up. It's really not a flip. Is it a flip? Well, they already have kids that have decommitted that ended up. They have kids that will decommit and end up in the class. Yes. I don't know if that's a flip because kids are decommitting and still taking official visits to other schools. But yes, how many will they sign? I'll say 24. 24 kids in this class. 24. I'll say 24.
That's good.
I was going to say 23, but I'll say 24. I'll keep it on the high end. Lucky Lefty podcast. Thank you for the GTB questions. If you have some more, give them in. Left, I don't know if you saw this. NCAA 26 is coming out next week. And man, look, I don't know about you, but the cover, in my opinion, oh man. Marcus Freeman, Jeremiah Love make the cover. That's huge.
Huge.
That's huge. Love seeing that. All for it. Right? But in the same breath, I see some people on the cover and I'm like, come on, man. Like, really? What are we doing? And one person is Garrett Nussmeier. I'm sorry.
Oh man, yeah.
I'm sorry, bro.
They're pushing him so hard. I don't know how he just jumped to the.
Nah. Garrett Nussmeier is not a cover. He's not a cover player for me, bro.
No.
He's just not. He's just not. And I'm not trying to hate. He's not
It
a
just
cover
doesn't
player.
show the strength. Doesn't show the strength of college football's talent.
No. And they had a mix of coaches, Heisman Award winners. It's good to see Reggie Bush being like pulled back into the fold and be accepted. It's good to see him the cover. He was the cover boy once before. Caleb Downs for Ohio State, Ryan Day, the top coaches, Kirby Smart. I guess James Franklin does. I guess you could put him on there. I guess his team being made. Yeah, you know, the dude back there wearing the Oregon sweater, he hadn't done a thing. I'm trying to figure out why he's on there.
Yeah,
he's a lot of talk.
They got the nice jerseys.
Yeah, he got a 5-star recruit to commit a couple of weeks ago, jumped in the pool, and the kid just decommitted. Yeah, Dan Lanning being on there is questionable. Like I said, Garrett Nussmeier, very questionable. I think the quarterback from Arizona State, I think what he showed in the playoffs, I mean,
it's a flash in the pan.
Yeah. Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams, Denard Robinson. It was good to see Shoelaces on there. Good to see him. Because once again, it was guys that have donned the cover. Tim Tebow donned the cover before. Reggie Bush donned the cover before. Shoelaces, Denard Robinson donned the cover before. So they had former cover guys on this particular deluxe edition photo. DJ Lagway, do you think he deserved? Like, has he done enough to be a cover guy?
I mean, so just like the Arizona State guys, potential guys are potential. If they blow up this year, then they prophesy something. But I think Caleb Downs should probably be more in the front.
I think so, especially after winning a championship.
Bryce,
I agree with that.
How did Bryce get in there?
Bryce Underwood, bro. They tried to keep Michigan in there. That's what it was.
They put a guy that never played a game on there. I think that's probably the oddest one.
Yeah, that's facts.
Because how?
About projections.
But like, you've never played a college football game and you're on the cover. I have never heard of that.
Yeah.
That's, I don't know how. I mean, congrats. I don't even know how you. I don't know how. I feel upset.
Yeah.
He hasn't played one game. We're talking about dudes that have won Heisman's, first round picks. You even have potential guys on here. Not a guy and he's sitting next to Kirby.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the South Carolina, I'm like, come on, bro. Why is there a Gamecock jersey on this picture, bro?
Yeah, I don't know how they stuck that guy on there.
What are we doing?
That might be the DN.
Yeah.
You don't see no defensive players. Only him and Caleb.
Yeah, it's very much offensive minded. The cover is definitely offensive minded.
I mean, having Bryce on there is insane.
Are you shocked that Arch isn't on here, bro?
Arch got Peyton Manning. They probably
overlook him. Was Arch on here? Let me double check.
Bryce Underwood's on here and not Arch Manning.
Cade Klubnik's on here. No, I don't see Arch, bro.
Peyton probably say you gotta pay him something. Eli Manning decided where he wanted to go in the draft, so I'm not tripping over them.
Yeah, I'm shocked that Arch didn't make it. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Texas did make it to the Final Four. I mean, we don't see Sark on here. Sam Levitt's on here, bro. Cade Klubnik's on here.
How did Michigan get on there? Michigan don't have nobody.
Respect. Michigan has brand power. Michigan has brand power.
They don't have nobody else.
Not besides their freshman quarterback. No,
that's never played.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, thank you, Antoine Gates. Arch and Sarkisian declined, and I would assume that Dabo probably declined if his quarterback is on there, but he's not on there because Dabo definitely deserves to be on there if Dan Lanning's on there, and your boy Lane Kiffin. If they're on there, Dabo definitely deserves to be on there. Thank you for that, Antoine Gates. I had not heard that. And shout out to them for declining it. I guess they feel like they're trying to make a statement to say they're all business and they don't want to play any games this year. Yeah, you're still going to have to prove it. Still going to have to prove it. But yeah, other than that, game comes out. I hope the gameplay is a little bit better. Hope the passing game logistics are a little bit better. But the return, it was a good return. The game, NCAA 25, was I won't even call it a solid return to gaming. It was a really good return to gaming. But I hope they got all the glitches out and improve the gameplay to make it more exciting for the fans.
Yep.
I hope that happens. Lucky Lefty podcast. So, let's go over this. Dre Quinn, Notre Dame, they're starting their officials. Their first official weekend or day is June 3rd, and it is Dre Quinn, 5-star defensive end. Who's basically down to Clemson. It's basically, from all reports, a Clemson Notre Dame battle. And it's another Clemson Notre Dame battle along with Penn State concerning Joey O'Brien. His first official visit is to Clemson this weekend. So Clemson and Notre Dame, they have some battles over the next 5 to 6 weeks. We'll see how they play out. But Dre Quinn comes in on June the 3rd for his official. Then June 10th, Ian Primer, who I love. If they can get Ian Primer and Ethan Jacobson in the class, they're cooking with grease. Noah Clark, another impressive, very twitchy interior defensive lineman. He'll be on campus June 10th. Talanoa Lee, the linebacker, he'll be on campus June 10th as well. Then June 13th, huge weekend. 5 ND commits will be on campus with Noah Grubbs, Javian Osborne, Gregory Patrick, Rodney Dunham, and Tiki Hola. They'll be on campus, and they'll be helping to recruit. 6, Jonas Walton. That's another ND commit that will be on campus. They'll be helping to recruit 2 wide receivers that I think if they can close on both of these wide receivers from the state of Texas, Mike Brown will have answered a bunch of questions. June 13th, Cohen Brown and Caden Finley, Jermichael Finley's son, they both come in on that weekend, along with Devin Fitzgerald. So if they can sweep those wide receivers on the 13th, then they're going to the 20th feeling really good. Feeling really good. That's a huge weekend for Mike Brown. Huge weekend.
Yep.
I'm sorry. That'll be a total of 9 commits on campus that weekend. I forgot about all the offensive linemen. Tyler Merrill, Ben Mickles, Sullivan Garvin will also be commits that are on campus. They'll be trying to get Joey O'Brien's teammate, Grayson McHugh, tackle. He'll be coming in on June the 13th as well. Then Kari Wilder, who in my opinion is a very underrated guy that you can play inside and outside. I'm very interested how Notre Dame sees him. They probably see him more of an inside guy. Kari Wilder, he'll be on campus. Then you have Nick Reddish, who Notre Dame. Both of these guys that we're going to talk about as we end out the June 13th weekend. Nick Reddish and Kari Adams. Kari Adams is basically Penn State, Notre Dame, Clemson. Once again, at Penn State, Notre Dame, Clemson for Kari Adams. And then Nick Reddish, I think right now Nick Reddish is a lean towards Notre Dame at the safety position. He'll be coming in the June 13th as well. June 20th, another big weekend. Braden Robinson, wide receiver out of Texas. Brian Williams, who is the number 1 wide receiver for Noah Grubbs out of Florida. He'll be coming in for his official. Evan Jacobson, who, I'll be honest, Evan Jacobson is the top priority guy at tight end for Notre Dame. He's expressed that that's what he's been told. And I think Notre Dame is the team to beat for Evan Jacobson right now. J.C. Anderson, a lot of love from Illinois, a lot of love from Michigan, Michigan State, Big Ten teams, and then Notre Dame. It's just about how Ian Primer, his visit, along with Evan Jacobson. I apologize for saying Ethan earlier. Evan Jacobson, his visit, I would say that J.C. Anderson right now is probably 3rd in the pecking order for the tight end room. Then Akina Boko, teammate of Ebenezer Utade. He's going to be joining Ebenezer Utade on the official visit June 20th. And then Elijah Golden, who Notre Dame has really been making progress with. He comes in on June the 20th. And then Tank King, big-time linebacker out of Texas. Notre Dame, his recruitment has been a roller coaster, and it's not like that Notre Dame has done anything wrong. It's just that, Notre Dame jumped on him early. Then other teams like Texas, Ohio State, he's a top linebacker, top 100 linebacker. So he's loving all of his top programs. There's something about all his top programs that he loves. This will be a big-time visit. And then Joey O'Brien. Notre Dame gets one of the last cracks at 5-star safety, Joey O'Brien, as he comes in June the 20th. Aiden Pouncey is a commit. He'll be here, and Chasten Smith is another commit that will be here. It's very interesting that Grayson McHugh and Joey O'Brien won't be visiting on the same weekend. I don't know if Notre Dame set it up that way or if that's just the way their official visits fell individually, but I like them being split, and I like them having different experiences for Notre Dame to be able to go ahead and impress them individually without them being together. I really like that. And last but not least, Alistair Vallejo out of the state of Texas will be in on June the 20th. And you love Notre Dame starting to close the gap with the big fellas. In the middle. That's what you said. You said that was one of the last areas of development with Notre Dame, and Alistair Vallejo. He's a big-time kid that I love out of the state of Texas. And Left, you just watch his film right here, Left. You just see he gets off the ball. He dominates 300 pounds. They put him in a 3-4, 3-5 look. He comes off the edge, and he's able to make plays. I really like this young man. Once again, 3-man front.
Oh, skipping on me.
Oh, yeah. Let me take it back. Left. Let me take it back. Look at him. Look at that quickness.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let me take it all the way back to the beginning for you, Left. Let's restack it. Now he's outside playing the big end. Look at that move to the inside.
Yeah, I like that there's no slowing down. He's not hesitating.
Yeah.
He's full speed. I mean, that's what you want. That's what you want to see. Big fan of guys that can use their hands. The size is most important. If you're coming in at 290, 300, that's just.
Did you see that dip? Did you see that dip?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go back to that play, Love. I want to see him. Watch his dip coming off the edge. Watch him dip under this tackle.
Yeah.
At that size, 300 pounds, that's pretty good athleticism.
Great finish, too.
Yeah.
Finishes on his opponents. Love the motor on the kid. And we get some excitement, man. You always love to see D linemen that give some excitement.
Defeats the double team, pursues down the line, delivers a blow. A little special teams action. We love that. There he's at the nose again, inside. No, that was a 4-man front.
Taking on double teams.
Take on double teams, holding the point. Cut block, no sir.
Great pickup if we can get him.
Yeah. It's a big time visit.
Yeah, huge.
Let me tell you something. Hey, man. Hey, I keep telling people, man, Al Washington, sir, if you can do what I think you have great probability of pulling off with this D-line class, he might be setting Notre Dame up for a crazy run because you already know the back end is already loaded Left. If they start loading that front end, if they start loading that defensive line, yeah.
Cancel Christmas.
Trouble. Yeah, like you said, cancel Christmas.
That's right.
Let's take it back because I want you to see the athleticism when they try to throw this screen. They release him, they try to get out. Look at him.
Yeah.
Recognition, everything. He's a full package, man. He's a full package. I love him. I absolutely love watching this kid play, man. I really do. Alistair, come on down to South Bend, sir. Alistair Vallejo. Yeah, come on down to South Bend. Come on down, sir. Enjoy yourself June 20th as he visits. And once again, we'll be locking in not only over at IB, but here June 6th, Irish Invasion. I believe they have 2 camps. It's the first of 2 camps for 27 kids and 28 kids. Looking forward to seeing the kids show up and seeing how they test out. Look for more offers to come out of the Irish Invasion as they watch kids come out and test and run 40s and test in front of them, in front of the staff. So thank you guys for joining us tonight, man. It was a great show, great return. We'll see you guys back tomorrow. How bad is it, Left? How bad is it?
How bad is what?
Is SGA is he getting ready to send them guys home?
Man, I think OKC is just them and Indiana are just 2 well-built teams, man. They're deep. I think you watch the breakdowns. Minnesota's just heavily dependent on Ant's production, and OKC's playing well as a team defensively.
Yeah, that's true. That's
and it
true.
just shows Minnesota just looks like they just don't have enough. If Ant's not getting 40, at least OKC has 2 or 3 other capable scorers.
Bro, the OKC is up 33 at half, bro. It is 65-32. Bro.
How did it get like that? They got to be tired or something.
No, they're just broken. And it's broke. And is like, man, I can't see any spots. In which I say Ant still has a lot of immaturity in his game. Which means he doesn't know. He plays when he wants to get downhill. That's what he wants to do. And when he sees multiple people in the gaps, he gets frustrated. Now, if he can eliminate the turnovers, and then Chris Finch has to stop putting him at the top of the key all the time. If you know that's the same place he's going to be coming from all the time, he's easy to defend. Put him in the post. Put him in the short post. Put him at the elbow. Yo, give teams some variety. That's on the coaching staff. That's on the coaching staff. But yeah, I knew after the other night that series was ready to be over. The Knicks, because see, all of the Knicks Pacers games have been hotly contested. They really have. They've been fourth quarter games.
They've been fighting hard and just losing the end.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be another. Hey, the Knicks could probably win a game at home, but I do think the Pacers probably close them out. And honestly, that OKC Indiana series, dude, those scores are going to be the average score would probably be in the 120s every game.
Are you serious?
Man, both of those teams?
They got defense, though.
No, they're going to score the rock, bro. They're going to score the rock because I don't think you have to have that type of series to make it intriguing, Left.
Yeah.
You have to have a high-scoring series because the markets aren't going to bring outside of basketball fans, people aren't going to watch OKC against Indiana, bro. They're not.
I know.
They're not.
They're going to have to let them play or something.
And it's sad because those are two very talented, exciting teams. Absolutely. Absolutely. The NBA is mad. The NBA is mad because they thought they would at least get Boston or New York in the final. They thought at least one of those big markets would be in the final. And,
nobody's going to watch it. Do you think somebody's going to?
I'm watching. Halliburton against SGA, I'm watching.
Do you think it's a good game to watch, though?
Oh, it's going to be fast-paced, bro. That's going to be a great series to watch. I think it's going to end up being a great product, bro. I really do. I think it's going to be up and down. I think you're going to get a mix of great shot making with some good, solid defensive plays as well. You have great perimeter players. They can both shoot the three. They can both take you off the dribble. You have maestros leading the way with Halliburton on one side, SGA on the other side. You have 2 fourth-quarter guys, Halliburton. Then you got Siakam going up against Jalen Williams. It was some intriguing matchups, man. Miles Turner, what he does on the inside, how he stretches the floor against Chet, and what he does then in the rim and stretching the floor. It's going to be a very intriguing series, man. I take OKC because I think their defense is better. I would take OKC because I think their defense is better.
Yeah, Lou Dort's out there locking stuff up.
Yeah. Lou Dort is going to have a problem with Tyrese, though.
You think so?
Tyrese is just herky. He's hard because he doesn't move like other players, bro. He has like a automatic hezzy to his game. And it's hard to guess his rhythm. He's very hard to deal with. And then if he's hitting that 3-point shot.
Is he a superstar?
No. Heck no. Heck no. No.
So what is he?
No. The only superstar, Shea is right there. Literally, Shea is right there. I would pay to go see Shea play. anywhere. I would pay to go see Shea play anywhere. Now, these dudes down 37 points, bro. They got 34 points in the third. This is crazy. They should be ashamed of themselves. And go take care of your kids this summer, man. Go take care of your kids. Lucky Podcast. For Love, SD2 Mics. We'll see you guys tomorrow for another edition of the Lucky Lefty Podcast. Have a great evening. Make sure you continue to spin it different.